Hi guys, this is Sliver here, continuing the bug fiesta of Diablo 4 Season 9 with yet another Horadric Stongroom bug. This time it's even crazier than before and makes even less sense. What you have to do is log into the game and use any Nightmare Dungeon sigil. It doesn't matter which affix it has, it doesn't have to have a Horadric Stongroom affix, it can have any single affix. For example, we're going to use the one with the Horadric Wisdom. It doesn't matter. Now, when you open this sigil, then your map will be immediately centered to the Nightmare Dungeon that you just opened. However, we are not going to enter this Nightmare Dungeon. Rather, we're going to go through the boss layers on the map one by one. I usually start with Grimoire and go further down from that, but it doesn't matter, it's up to you, the order. So we're going to check each of the boss layers and we just enter these boss layers and look for something special. We are looking for the activation of the Horadric Wayfinder, you know, the small beam of purple fog that points towards Horadric Stongrooms in Nightmare Dungeons. And if we don't find it in a specific boss layer, then we move on to the next one. So we're going to circulate between these boss layers until we find the activation of the Horadric Wayfinder, which is this purple mix pointing towards Horadric Stongrooms. So once you manage to find the boss layer where your Horadric Wayfinder activates, then you should follow it and you will get to a Horadric Stongroom. So again, you can find this Horadric Stongroom in a boss layer, not a Nightmare Dungeon, once you opened any of the Nightmare Dungeon sigils, and again, it doesn't matter which affix we're talking about. And what you have to do from now is quite obvious. You should get into the Horadric Stongroom, play through the Horadric Stongroom normally, and loot the chest at the end inside the Horadric Stongroom. Usually on Torment 4 difficulty, this will get you a few ancestral items, a chance for a escalation sigil, and around 2300 obdusite. Now, the best part isn't this. The best part is that this is repeatable. So once you finished with your first Strongroom, you are able to teleport out of the Strongroom using the portal and then teleport to boss layers once again. So once again, you are alternating between the different boss layers and one of them will, again, have the Horadric Wayfinder activated for you, indicating another Horadric Stongroom. And you can continue to do this all the way until your original Nightmare Dungeon is open. The way you could profit from this is doing it in a group, and whoever in the group finds the correct boss layer where the Horadric Stongroom is, indicates that somehow and everybody teleports to that person, and then continue the same thing again. This way, this would be a really good obdusite farm. Viewers of the channel might notice that I put out a similar video a few days ago. However, the new thing about this video is that I discovered that you don't need to have specifically Nightmare sigils that have the Horadric Stongroom affix, rather you can have any Nightmare sigil. And that's what I wanted to talk about for this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks.